Now, here are some risks or dangers that you might want to look out for. First one is that it might mess with your sleep. You might actually be really hungry going to sleep and you can't fall asleep. That is possible, and a lot of people have reported this. Some of you might experience some headache or some mood swings, low energy levels, or digestion problems like diarrhea or constipation. Everyone's a little different. Now, some of the myths that do come with it that people think about when they think about intermittent fasting, they don't want to try it because not eating, they feel like it might hurt their stomach. They might have too much acid in their stomach. That's not really true because if you don't eat for a long time, your stomach actually just starts to shrink, and then you'll be naturally less hungry. And about the acid in your stomach, well, it's actually designed to contain acid. That's hydrochloric acid. And so if you're a normal person without any medical conditions, that shouldn't be a concern. The other two myths you might have heard is something like it lowers your resting metabolic rate. So because you're not eating, you're going to be burning less calories because your body's trying to conserve energy. There are actually a lot of studies that show that's not true. In fact, it actually increases your resting metabolic rate. And lastly, they are scared that they might lose muscle. There might be a little bit of muscle loss, but as long as you continue weight training or strength training, the concern of muscle loss actually isn't too great. You don't lose that much muscle protein. So if you want to try intermittent fasting, what's the best way to go about it? Well, I think it's actually a natural process that you're already doing. Just start increasing the window of no eating. A simple template would be trying the 12-12. 12 hours of eating, 12 hours of no eating, just drinking water. And that includes your sleeping time. So if you're sleeping for 7 hours, well, then there's just 5 more hours that you just don't eat. And then when that feels normal, gradually start increasing the window of no eating. So instead of doing 12-12, you can now do 14 and 10 hours of eating. And then increase that to 16 hours of no eating and 8 hours of feeding. And then eventually, if you can continue to push the window of no eating, the goal is to try to get to 1 meal a day and see how that feels. And you should always be monitoring your body to see if there are any negative side effects, as I mentioned earlier. As a final tip, I do recommend doing high intensity training right before you finish your fasting for maximum benefit of insulin sensitivity, human growth hormone production, and fat loss. And if you're concerned that you might feel uncomfortable or a bit dizzy and you have no energy, well, keep in mind that you're supposed to have low energy and that you're not going to be performing at your best. But in high intensity training, as mentioned, it's all about your effort level. So as long as you're trying your best and you're really draining all the glycogen left in your body, then your body's going to switch over to fat burning. And that's the ideal state for you, to be burning more fat. And if you're starting to feel dizzy or lightheaded, then yes, you should probably slow down or stop. There's no need to push yourself to that limit because any form of training, when you're in a fasted state, you're already inducing a lot of good benefits anyways. Lastly, if you are pregnant or you're breastfeeding or you have any other medical conditions, then you probably should not be doing intermittent fasting. I'm not a doctor, so do please consult your medical professional and get their opinion about your unique situation. This is only for informational purposes only. So that's it, guys, for intermittent fasting. I hope you found that useful. As always, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below and follow me on my WeChat official account. See you next time.